I got some monster
Whoa, I just
breaking
saw
news.
it. I just saw it.
Mike Tomlin is stepping down as the Steelers head coach.
Wow. I'm not surprised by this. Again, anybody that's been paying attention to anything we've been talking about, what I've been talking about with Florio, I just did a video the other day just talking about who do you want the Giants head coach? Well, Harbaugh, or if the Steelers let go of Mike Tomlin, because I thought this was a possibility.
Let me stop you there.
Yeah.
So you don't think this is he's burnt out of coaching. You think this might be time for both sides.
I think so.
Like we just saw in Baltimore.
I think so.
19 years.
Yep. And they look at it and, hey, it's been a great run. You've been phenomenal. Right? We've let you down maybe a little bit with some of the things on the roster, which again, that's where I stick up for Mike Tomlin a little bit, because he's not the GM and he does not have final say. And a lot of the times I want to go, hey, these teams aren't all that special personnel-wise, and they're still above 500 and going to the playoffs. But, yes, this feels more like a step down. Let's go separate ways. Let me reevaluate, right, and see if I want to take a job right now, or do I want to sit out a year and kind of just read the landscape of the league. But he's certainly going to have opportunities, we know. And this feels like very Andy Reid, Philadelphia. It's over. We had a good run. We didn't win the Super Bowl in Philadelphia with Andy Reid. We won it with Tomlin, but it's time to go and get a new fresh start for all of us.
Imagine telling somebody a month or two ago the only returning coach to the AFC North is Zach Taylor.
It is pretty crazy, right? I mean, a month ago too, right? I mean, like Joe Burrow's just coming back, and you're like, man, they've been a kind of a disaster. So it is amazing. I mean, these are legends that are out there right now, and in a year where maybe he's looking at the landscape, maybe they had some conversations, maybe he got a feel that the organization wants to do some different things, and he's like, I don't know if I want to be a part of that, right? To where he goes, maybe this is the right time. And then there's some jobs out here right now, as we know, where, again, this is different than normal. There's no Ben Johnson, Liam Cones out there right now. There's no Mike Vrabel that you just go, oh, they're definitely at the head of the class. So guys like Harbaugh and Tomlin, I do think, can have their pick of the litter, probably name their price, basically. And you got some teams like Atlanta or the Giants who are going to go, hey, we're not that far off. We just get the right leader in here. We can be right back in the mix of things. And that's what two guys like Harbaugh and Tomlin can do for you.
To your point about maybe just the organization, him being on different timelines, the Steelers, who it feels like never rebuild.
Yeah.
The Steelers this year have 5 picks in the top 100.
Right.
They have, based on value, and there's different ways to look at this, but Tankathon does this. It's based off a chart from Harvard. They're pretty smart.
Yeah.
They have the 4th highest value in the draft.
Wow.
So the Jets have the highest value with all their picks.
Right.
The Raiders, who have the number 1 pick but have a lot of capital, they're second. The Browns, because of the Travis Hunter trade last year and the impact this year, have the 3rd. I don't think a lot of people would guess the Steelers have the 4th most value of draft assets in this draft.
Interesting.
It's kind of like a team that doesn't rebuild. Well, if you're going to do it, this would be the retool, rebuild, whatever you want to call it. Like you said,
right.
Mike Tomlin's probably like, if he's going to coach, I'm going to go somewhere where maybe there's just more of a foundation.
A little farther down the road with the foundation than maybe where they're going to go. I'm going to be interested to see. I really will. I think that the point you're bringing up, and this is to me one of the reasons that Pittsburgh have been meddling, right? And it's a little bit of the gift and the curse of the greatness of Mike Tomlin, where he's able to get more out of a team that maybe most coaches can't. And then they can't bottom out.
They can't bottom
out. And they've done a lot of just like, hey, let's put a Band-Aid here and let's do a Band-Aid there. And we think Mike can get us over the hump if we just need 1 or 2 more guys here. And what's happened is really, other than the offensive line, nothing's young on the football team, right? Think about it, right? I mean, it's nothing.
All the way to TJ Watt.
Exactly right. I mean, nothing's young. So I can certainly see them looking at it with this draft and everything you're talking about going, it might be time for us to kind of just blow it up, take a step back so we can take 2 steps forward. And maybe he didn't want to be a part of that. We'll see where it goes. But I certainly would take him in New York. I would. The Giants are due also to get an African-American head coach. I'm just going to throw that out there. And not to say that's a deciding factor or anything like that, but they've never had that in their history. I think it's something that they are aware of, right? Like the Rooneys were aware of it too, and it's the Rooney rule for a reason. The Maras and the Rooneys are very close family. families. I mean, these are blue bloods of the NFL.
Yeah.
So I certainly would take him as the head coach of the New York Giants.
It just got much more interesting because it feels like it's just been Harbaugh,
right.
and now Mike Tomlin's just
Exactly,
out there.
right.
It's really crazy to look at that.
Yeah.
On the flip side, where do the Steelers rank? This is Chris and I's how we ranked the openings a week ago. Now the Steelers are thrown into this mix. Like you said, Chris, it's an older roster, but they have a lot of draft capital. It is a prestigious organization.
Yep.
This is a tough one.
It is a tough. The prestige is real, so there is something to that. Like I give that a little bit of a bump in value, right? That's kind of what I did with the Giants and the Ravens to a degree. I would say it's definitely no better than the top 4 that either one of us have, right? I wouldn't. I would not put the Steelers' job as we sit here right now above the Ravens, Giants, Falcons, or Titans. And I know you had the Titans and we had the Titans and Falcons switched around a little bit. But I would say after that is probably where I would go with it. Yeah, you do have some offensive linemen. You do have pass rushers, right, like we talk about. We'll see where Cam Hayward's going. He's certainly playing well enough to keep playing, right? He's not as dominant as he once was. But you need a quarterback, right? You need some other offensive weapons to go along with it. You need some secondary players, too, as well. So that's where I kind of look at it and go, yeah, I think it's probably about 5th in that group right there.
Jan Shows is in the chat and said, Saleh to Pittsburgh, book it.
Well, I mean, listen, he would fit the mentality of the city and the way they want to play football. That would be interesting, right? It really would. And I think, Saleh, a little bit like Kevin Stefanski, is getting a lot of chatter and looks because of the situation they were in prior, right?
He's getting a job.
You're going to get another chance, Robert Saleh, because you were with the Jets, and everybody in the league goes, they're dysfunctional, so we don't know if we can really blame that on you. Just like Kevin Stefanski with the Browns, which is deservingly so. Again, I've always been saying Kevin Stefanski deserves another shot. I just don't know if I want him with my team to get that second shot as the New York Giants, right?
You don't want to be the one to find out.
If
Actually,
it was him or the organization.
He wasn't great. We can't just blame the Browns and the Jets for everything. We can blame them for a lot of things.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Wasp49 asked, do you think the Bucs reconsider and reach out to Tomlin?
Hey, I'm just wrapping my head around this as we talk right here.
This
but
came in live.
My head, dude, go there. Okay, I know the Glazer family loves Mike Tomlin. There's no doubt about that, and they know what of a special guy he is, leader, and all of that. To where, again, and I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I think this kind of move would make the Glazer family go, do we want to get Mike down here? I know we got Todd. Todd just kind of cleaned out the defensive staff, so there's nobody there right now. Right? I mean, so I think it'll make them think. I think it's a very good question by Wasp49.
Man, this is just it's
crazy.
Wild. It leaves Andy Reid as the only active head coach who's been with his team for 10-plus seasons.
Yeah, well, I think it speaks to what we're talking about in the NFL right now. It's what have you done for me lately, right? And hey, the ones that hang on there, Andy Reid winning. Shanahan's been for a while winning, right? McVay winning, right? So, they're what, at 8 years now? 9 years?
They're getting
probably
close.
Right there.
Yeah.
So, right. McDermott, same thing. Yeah, winning. So you can see. You falter really more than 1 year in a row, 2 years in a row, you falter as a football team. I don't give a damn what you've been doing. Your ass is going to be on the hot seat. And it's maybe a little unfair at times, but it's the way it is in the NFL right now. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.